Hi everyone, this is Brandy. Welcome back to my channel. I am working with a new camera setup today and some new lighting, so we'll see how that goes. Today we are going to be making a pocket for a journal, and I'm sure this is not original idea because I used to make these when I taught card making classes, but this is a great way to make something out of a piece of coffee dyed paper, maybe something that's not a very heavyweight paper, or a book page. So we're going to make it out of book page today, but I'm going to show you this sample that I made. And this one I just did some stamp stitching on, and then I'll show you this other one, which will be more like what we're going to be making. We're going to make one like this, more this size, and I'm going to show you how I made this flower. And also this is just a piece of coffee dyed paper, and actually this is not coffee dyed paper, this is avocado dyed paper, but this is a great size. This is a smaller journal I have, and what I did was this was a piece of 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, and I just cut 2 inches off of each side, and then I'm going to show you I did the same process that we're going to do with the book page. But this is a great size for a little bit smaller journal. This journal I made is a little bit smaller. And of course you can glue it in and then use the back as a tuck and then also the pocket. So I'm going to do something for the pocket in another video later in the week. Okay, so let me show you how we're gonna do it. This is an old book my mom gave me, and I don't even know when it's from, but it's a textbook that she had gotten from her great aunt. And I just thought we would use a piece of paper out of it. I don't really want anything that has a picture on it. A lot of them have pictures on it. Well, so let's see. I guess being a textbook. Okay, this one doesn't. So I'm just gonna take this out. And what was really cool, when she gave me this book, there was an envelope stuck in it, and it is actually postmarked November 2nd, 1956, and November 2nd is my birthday, so I thought that was super cool. All right, so I'm gonna stick that back in there and put this away. This is the first time I'm using any of that book page, but okay, so this is a good way to use a book page or sheet music or something such as that, because you are going to reinforce it with itself. So we're just going to fold this in half, and this one's going to make a smaller pocket. Okay. All right. Now we are just going to cut it in half. So let's measure it real quick. So it is about 5.5, so we're gonna cut it at 2. Let's see. All right, now it's testing my brain. So let's see if this is right. I probably should have. I think it's 2 3/4. We'll see. Yes, 2 3/4. See, if I try to think too hard, my brain just gives up on me. Okay, we're gonna keep our cutter out because where you have this fold is going to be important for how we're going to cut for our pocket. So basically you're going to be cutting from, let me find something, from this point here to this point here. So we're gonna make a diagonal cut across that. And if you want, you can take a ruler and draw a straight line and then cut it with your scissors. I'm going to use the cutter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one corner of the paper right there at the cutting edge and the other corner at the cutting edge. So I don't know if y'all can see that, but I have one of the points here and one over here right at the cutting edge, and then I'm just going to cut across. So you end up with this diagonal cut right across here. Save these because you can use these, which I don't have to tell junk journalers to save stuff because we save way too much stuff, don't we? All right, so we're going to do the same thing with this one. And like I said, if you don't have a trimmer or you don't want to use a trimmer, you can just use a ruler to draw that line and then cut it with scissors, okay? Okay, so once we have that done, you're going to keep one of them folded the same way, and then the other one you want to fold the opposite way that you originally had it, because they're going to go together like this. Okay, so you have this back, and that's why you're gluing it on top of itself, so it'll have more stability. So you can decide which one you want in the front, which one you want in the back. And before we do that, let's go ahead. This is pretty yellowed paper, but I'm just going to ink it up just a little bit more, not tremendously, but just a little bit. So I hope everyone's having a great day today. I decided to do this when I was cleaning out my garage. I found a card that I had made when I used to sell Stampin' Up, and I thought it was really cute, so I thought it would make a cute junk journal pocket. Like I said, this idea has been around a long time. I didn't come up with it. So that's how we ended up doing this morning. Finally, I did have to deconstruct it to figure out how to do it. All right, so we're just going to put glue on here, and this bottom piece, you're just going to put glue all the way around, and then just glue that on so it'll look like this. Oops. Okay. Now, if we wanted to reinforce these some, because it is tearing a little bit, we could put a little piece of fabric right here, but we're about to glue that. Let's see, maybe we can glue this. That's a good idea. Let's fold this right here. I didn't do this on the other one because of course it was just coffee dyed paper. So if we take this is called improvising. I can't talk this morning. Improvising, yes. So we'll just take this, stick that, and that way that reinforces that a little bit, and we'll just trim this little part off right there. I'm sticking it down instead of trimming it off. You could also just put a piece of washi tape on it. I don't have any of my washi out right now, and I don't want to go digging through it. And plus, it's all pretty bright stuff. I don't think any of it would look very good with this. Oops, I think I just knocked my pin for my glue off. So let's go ahead and bend this one. Go ahead and trim the top because we know we're going to have to. Now, you're not going to be open and closing this. This is just going to be a pocket. So this is just to help it for this initial gluing, or, you know, just the initial part. Okay. Now, I did use that I overlapped a little bit too much. Okay. Let me get another pin for my glue. I just heard it fall on the ground, and I have extra because I can't ever keep track of them. Okay. So this is a stamp set that I'm going to use by 49 and Market, and it's called Gabby's Line Stitch Stamp Set, and it's just got different styles of stitching. And I do have a sewing machine, but I just thought I had bought this stamp set, so, you know, I need to use it. So this one is kind of like a raggedy looking stamp. So I'm just going to do it along this top line of the outer part of the, and you could use black. I just picked up brown. And you could probably get a better line, a clearer line if you use something that's not Distress ink. But I like the look of the Distress ink. And it's okay if you get it on this part because this is the back. No one's gonna see that. Okay, so now we're just gonna do along this bottom edge here. I did not stamp that other side very well. Just noticed. But one of the, as long as one side looks pretty good, because one is going to go under the other, so that's okay. That page is cracking a good bit. You can tell I haven't really worked with old book pages very much, so I think it will still end up being okay. All right, you could put some washi tape on it if you're worried about it. Now we're going to do on the inside of the pocket right there at the top. Okay. And like I said, you could use something that's not Distress ink and you would get a little bit better line. So since I think this one stamped a little bit better than this one, we're going to make that that part there. So we're only going to put glue. The first one you put down, you only want to put glue along the bottom edge. So we'll put the glue along the bottom edge there. Glue that to the bottom. Okay. Then for this one, we're going to put glue along this bottom edge, and then you're just going to come up just a little bit on this point here. And then if you want it glued down more, you can kind of go from the top here and put some glue right there. Okay, now if you're concerned about where it tore a little bit right here, you could repair that. I'm really not that worried about it. I'm going to test out my pocket. I'm just going to fold up this just to put something in there, just to see how it works. See, that's fine. It's not busting open or anything, so we're good. Now, like, it looks old. It is old. So let's see. I'm not sure when that book was from, but I know she had some other ones and they were from like the early 1900s. So I'm guessing it's probably around the same time. The page that has that information in it is no longer in the book. And I'm just going to do a little bit more Distress inking. So now I'm going to show you how I made the little flower. This is just a regular coffee filter that I dyed with avocado. If you've never done avocado dyeing before, it's a whole lot of fun. You just boil your skins and your avocado pit for like an hour and a half, and then you let it cool, and then you can dye your stuff in it. So it turns this really pretty dusty pink color. I really like it. I did a whole batch of stuff with it. So this little circle template I made from, I turned something upside down and traced it. I can't even remember what it is now. But this is basically how you make a yo-yo. And I used to make them a good bit, and I haven't made them for a long time. I did make some lace flowers for the front of this mermaid journal that I'm doing. I'll show it to you. But these are all, this one's made like what we're making now, and then these here are just made of lace that I gathered, and then that's another piece of lace that I cut out, a little flower that was in it. I'm following Artie Mays' example here with her cloth covering, because I stuck my journal in the cover in some ink, and thankfully it didn't transfer, so I covered it up after that. I was scared I was going to ruin the cover, but I'll do a flip through with that when I'm finished. Okay, so now I have a somewhat circle. It doesn't have to be perfect. And you're just going to do like you would for a yo-yo. And what you're going to do is you're just going to stitch like just a regular running stitch. You don't want to go to the very edge. You want to go about 1/8 of an inch around the outer edge. And this, I'm using rayon thread just because I have a lot of it, because I used to have an embroidery machine. I'm sure you could do the same with a strong cotton thread. Okay, so once you get to that final spot, see where your tail is, because you want that to go on the inside. And then you're just going to start pulling it in. Now, since this is not fabric, you do have to kind of set where you want your flower to kind of end up on the inside. So then you want to pull gently to just start gathering up the coffee filter. Hopefully my head is not in. I'm not used to this new setup, y'all, so excuse me if my head gets in. But we had to find a way to clamp it not on my desk, because when I would do certain things, it was shaking too much. Okay, so then once you have it gathered, and it doesn't have to be perfectly round because flowers are all different shapes. You really rarely see anything perfect, if ever, in nature. Okay, so now I don't know how you're supposed to finish a yo-yo, because like I said, it's been so long, but I just kind of go across to gather that up, and then I go back through to the other side, across, and then I go through the other side. This is probably not how you do it, but you know, there's plenty of videos online if you want to find out how to really do it. But this works, so we're doing it this way. Okay, so then I'm just going to go in right beside this, because I want to come back, and I'm going to go through the loop this time to do a knot, and then I'm going to go through that again. And you could use contrasting thread. I actually, when I did it with my mermaid, I used metallic thread. You could kind of see it through, or you can use, I like to use gray when I do quilting. I use gray because it almost looks like a shadow. It doesn't, the eye kind of makes it melt away. Okay, so we're just going to cut that. Now you can kind of manipulate it how you want. Like you can pull this out and kind of scooch things around. Like I said, you don't have as much control as you if it were fabric, but this would also work with like a round tea bag. You could do this with a round tea bag, which I had one, but I don't know where I put it. So that's why I did it with the coffee filter. Okay. So now that we kind of have it the way we want it, I like to put a little piece of bling in the middle. This strip cut, I've had these cut down. I tend to use them in 3s. And I'm just going to cut a piece of this off. I like to trim up all the little extra bits. Now, I tried the art glitter glue and it didn't stick very well. So you can kind of smush and open your little pleats how you want it to look. But I'm going to use some Fabri-Tac and just put some in there. I hate the strings from this stuff. It gets, oh goodness. Okay. I hate that kind of glue, but you know, it has its uses. So then you're going to stick that in, and then I like to take something pointed and kind of press it down. I want it kind of pressed in the middle of those pleats. Oops. And then this is optional, of course. Everything's optional. I just put a little bit of distressing on here. Oops. Okay, now I have my little book page pocket, and I'm going to put this word on here and this flower. And I had a butterfly that I had already chosen. Here it is. It might be a little big though. You know what? I think I'm going to use, I have these little flowers. No, I don't like that. Let me see. I have another thing with some butterflies that are smaller, because these are the 10-fold snippets, the little tiny things. Let me see if I have one that I like. That's pretty. Let's see. My cat is attacking me. I don't really like that one very much. Why do I have to be so indecisive about things? I hope everybody else is as bad as me at that. Make me not feel alone. Because I will take, like, ooh, I like this. Let's try this. Okay. I'll take forever to decide on where to put stuff. Okay. So we'll put the flower more to that side, and then I'll put that on there. I'm just gonna stick it down. I mean, in the end, I think I go over stuff 100 times, and then in the end, when I flip through it later, I never even like second guess what I did. So I don't know why it takes so long to decide what I'm going to do. I think I should have stuck this word down first. Okay, I really don't like that butterfly. Let's pick a different. Let's see what I have. There's nothing in there. I have these from Artie Mae's and Tracy Fox's kit. Let's look at that one. You know what? Maybe it just doesn't need a butterfly on it. Maybe it needs something different. Let's put that back in here. I love this little pouch thing. I got this from Hobby Lobby. I saw it on Gail Augustinelli's channel, and I really liked it. So I used a 40% off coupon on it, and it holds a lot of stuff. I don't know why all the butterflies are going that way. Ooh, this one's pretty. Okay, let's use this one. This one's pretty. We're just gonna do it. It's gonna look good. Even if it doesn't look good, we're gonna keep it. So we have our pocket, and you know, I kind of like, this is like a little paper flower that's just hanging out on my desk. I'm gonna pick this little pearl off of it though, and we're gonna put it on here too, because I kind of like the look of that. And then I have another one hanging out. I have lots of things hanging out on my desk. So we can ink it up. We'll put it on here too. I don't know what that is on my glue. Well, I'm sure I do know what it is. It's probably cat hair and dog hair, and if bird feathers could float in here, it would be that too. Okay. Now we'll take a couple more pieces of this, and we're going to stick those in the middle of these. All right, so there's our pocket, and of course we could use it as a tuck spot also, like, you know, it's a pocket, and so you have your pocket here, and then you have a tuck here. So there we go. There is the project for the day. Hope you enjoy it. Y'all have a great day, and subscribe and like my video, and hope to see you again. Thanks a lot.